This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 933. I am Brian Kilby. Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast since 1999. And you know what? I'm thinking here, Car Robots was what, 2000?
It was.
Yeah, and then Robots in the Skies was 2001.
It was.
And so that Omega Prime came out in 2000, 2001. So we've been here around longer than that.
Yeah, barely.
And Diecast is not here, and he actually got the HasLab.
Diecast, you had one job.
Yeah, he got it, so we can't talk about it. So there's some news, but we'll get into it. So, but with me this week, we have Chris.
Hi.
Chris, we have Rob.
Hello.
Hello, Matt.
Hello, how's it going?
And Don. Don ordered 3 Omega Primes. He's yet to get any of them, though.
Well, talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. I haven't gotten mine either, so we'll see.
Yeah, okay, so like, you and Don are the only ones who are actually here who ordered them, so like... Yeah.
Let's jump into it. So we talked a lot about this in pre-show. HasLab Omega Prime features widely reported QC and breakage issues. And this. How many HasLabs have we had recently that this happened to? This happened with, was it Star Convoy? I mean,
it happened with Victory Saber.
Yes.
And then it's happened with this one. So like after the whole Victory Saber thing went down, it seemed like they were, tightening up the processes and making sure things went smoothly. The successive ones after Victory Saber hadn't really had.
No, Death Source came out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like this, we're back to square one for some degree of this here.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. With all the reported stuff, I think we may have slid into even worse territory.
I'm hoping
some of the
not.
Yellowing pictures I've seen are atrocious.
So what? Yeah, what's happening? So yellowing, cracking, anything else?
So there's inside of Fire Convoy's chest, there's teeth that help, I guess, hold the position when you slide the joint out for transformation. Those on some copies have basically sheared off from either the first transformation or already were that way from the factory.
That's great.
And I think that's part of the cracking problem, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we think there is some relation in there. Like, we're very early days on this, obviously, so we're still kind of gathering information right now, especially on the mechanical failure part of it. Ultra Magnus, some of the white parts that I presume by the way they function are nylon parts, are coming pre-yellowed, just like the good old days of 2021. But yeah, it's been not a great time for a number of people so far on the early edge of getting these in. It's interesting, like New Zealand pre-orders, some of those went out a few weeks ago, and I don't remember hearing any reports of issues from that channel of them. So I'm kind of curious why a lot of this seems to be turning up now in the American fulfillment.
I mean, as far as the yellowing goes, going to New Zealand, they wouldn't have been in hot cargo containers nearly as long.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, who knows? It's just bad luck.
But yeah, we didn't hear really anything out of the early New Zealand copy, so that's good. And widespread distribution has not yet happened, but the early copies are not looking promising.
I mean, some of our audience members and patrons have gotten their copies in and have not had any issues to report so far. So it's definitely not a universal thing, but as the days are going on, there are more and more accounts of this coming in. So it's not nearly such an isolated thing as we would really hope. But yeah, we did talk with Don about this at some length in the pre-show. Go check out the pre-show podcast when that goes up on the patron feed, patreon.com/tfradio. You can get that at any patron tier. But yeah, we are all suitably worried for Don and his Omega Prime investment. Don is worried for Don's Omega Prime investment. I hate that this is the thing that Don's having to deal with right now. Don is like the biggest Robots in Disguise 2001 fan out there, and he deserved better for his crowning achievement in that field.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
just
This
wait
is
and see at
just
this point.
yeah, this is just going to make me nervous for the next year and a half, waiting to see how Liokaiser turns out.
I've already been thinking about that too. Yeah.
Well, do you
Yeah.
think? I'm not usually one to find the bright side on things because I work retail all my life. But do you think maybe Liokaiser, putting the yellowing part aside, from a purely mechanical standpoint, they're probably a lot simpler as far as the individual robots. I can't imagine them being too much more complicated for the most part than an
They
aerial
will have a
bot.
lot more combination points and heavy ratchets.
Yeah, it's the ratcheting joints is what I would worry about because that's essentially what's breaking on Fire Convoy is a
Okay.
ratcheting system
I
inside the
tried.
torso. Yeah, no, Don, like that was a very good effort. And in some regards, you're right. Like, being combiner figures and being several individual pieces in one package, there is a comparative level of simplicity versus an Omega Prime.
Yeah, it just
But there is still definitely points of failure that could
Yeah.
happen in manufacturing like we're seeing here.
Yeah, so we'll just everyone cross your fingers and
Yes, hopefully for everyone involved, the design team as well as the people actually getting these, that this doesn't turn out to be nearly as widespread as early indicators are looking. Like,
or maybe it's a
best
batch
of luck to
issue.
everyone who has one of these coming in the mail.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And Hasbro does seem to already be putting plans in motion to make replacements possible for affected copies. Ben Yee has been in contact with Hasbro customer service, hopefully just on information gathering. Hopefully he's not among the affected of this already. He's got a guide up on his Blue Sky. We have that linked in the show notes for this episode, tfradio.net/933. He basically just outlines the process to go through. The important thing to note here is that you want to report any of this as early as you can. What they're going to ask you to do, they're going to provide you a return shipping label for either or both toy that's affected. You'll send those back, and after they receive them, the plan apparently then is they will place an order to have a replacement provided. So there's gonna be a gap time between when you send that back and when a replacement arrives. Hopefully, though, the replacements, if they're being newly manufactured and rushed over, they will be inspected a little bit more to make sure that they're better copies coming through. But you know, it's not going to be you send it back and you have your replacement in hand, the next week. There's going to be some time delay on this, so be prepared for that.
No, the same thing happened with Star Saber issues, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, like with Victory Saber, I know some people were able to work with Hasbro and get their replacements for inspection before sending the originals back based on concerns of like, are the replacements going to have actually better QC, or are we going to be in a worse off position after this? Or there's cases where Hasbro just ghosted people and replacements weren't ever given, like what happened to me. But yeah, like this. The fact that they already have a plan in place to be dealing with this sounds like they had a contingency system set up just in case the QC issues started coming in after these rolled through. So on the one hand, it's terrible that this is an issue that's going on right now. On the other, at least Hasbro is not appearing to be caught flat-footed for the first several weeks of this, like happened with Victory Saber when they were figuring out how to deal with a massive number of defect units that they were obligated to replace.
At the same time, this yellowing issue is not a new problem.
No, and the
Steps
yellowing
really
had
should have been taken to avoid this kind of thing.
And the
Yes.
yellowing the issue in general had diminished greatly over the last year or two. I think the last notable instance of it was probably with Legacy Motormaster, and after that, you didn't hear very much about that happening anymore. It's disheartening to find this coming back up, especially in a product like this.
Yes, and a very expensive made-to-order, strictly collector-focused, item, which is like if anybody's going to complain.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. To be clear, we're not saying that this should happen at any level of product, like that it should not be a thing in the first place, but like it's an extra bad omen to have this on the thing that they needed to have come out as perfect as possible on the first try. And like we were saying before, this does kind of shake the confidence in the HasLabs again, like Victory Saber did. I hate that that's the case because Deathsaurus did come out really well after the whole Victory Saber incident, but like, we can hope for the best for Liokaiser. Hopefully, if they do have to go through a lot of hoops and some extra costs to fix this issue, they will be a little bit more diligent with the next one to whatever degree is possible. But yeah, it's not just Don that's generating anxiety over this for his thousands of dollars worth of Omega Primes. Like, those of us waiting for the next one to come along now too have a little bit more to be thinking about. So let's go ahead and move on. We have listings and first pictures of the second wave of Takara Wild King Energy Beasts. So the Energy Beasts are the smaller animal figures that dock onto the Optimus and Megatron toys. So I haven't like super scrutinized these versus the first wave, but I think these may be mostly or wholly all new molds. So that's an encouraging sign because I kind of would have expected some like obvious mold reuse already.
Well, you've got the Spinosaurus off the Tyrannosaurus, but
Well, I mean that's kind of a normal thing, but like it's not reading immediately like, oh, okay, this is just a T-Rex with a sail on its back. So like they are still putting in some effort on this. So we have 05 Ignite Leo, so of course we get a lion because there's always a lion in a Takara Transformers line. We have Spiritomon, which is the Spinosaur. Drill No Horn, which is a rhino, and Thunderbeak, which is a pteranodon or some form of pterosaur like that. So all of these basically do the same thing that the first wave does. They'll form different limbs and weapons for the core figures. These are still being priced the same as the first wave at 2,750 yen each, and they're going to come out the last weekend of June. The first wave of Wild King product should already be like widely available in Japan. It would have been scheduled for release this past Saturday. I know some people already had copies in hand because some retailers do their fulfillment a little bit earlier. Hopefully Brian has his copies in hand already, and we'll be able to talk about those a little bit later in what we got. I think the one thing I'm surprised about with this, though, is that we don't see any additional core robots yet. I was kind of expecting that there would be at least one more large toy in the line, and so far it seems to just be replacement add-on pieces.
I wonder if we'll get something even larger than Prime and Megatron ultimately that can just basically dock all the smaller ones at once.
Wild King Armada
that
Megatron.
something that can Ultra Zord them all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what would that even be? I mean, I guess you could do it with like an Ultra Magnus.
I'm sorry, but for those of you that know, Zoojer is popping into my head.
But these aren't cubes.
No, but they're very blocky and
Their combined forms are almost cubes.
that's just what pops in my head is some kind of weird Zuo Wild King. Was that what it was called? Anyway, very weird looking Ultimate Megazord. So that's just what popped in my head.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is like Megazord qualities to how some of this works. I honestly, before you said that, I was more thinking of like Ava Ranger, Dino Thunder, the way the auxiliary Zords on that kind of looked and interacted. But again, at the same time, there was other large toys in that line beyond the initial Megazord toy that could interact with more of them. Yeah, I don't know if that might be something that we would see like a little bit later on this year, another large figure. Like I kind of flash back to the Transformers Prime line where Takara did their own unique Unicron toy, and like you could almost like see them doing something kind of like that, something weird and off the wall. Maybe not necessarily Unicron specifically, but like some kind of big like overpower character that would be able to take all the other auxiliary pieces on in some fashion like that. Like there's a lot of like flexibility and potential just in how the play pattern works with this. And I guess it's mostly that I want to see that explored more and not just be limited to the combinations with the initial two core robots because like it's such a waste if it doesn't ever go farther than that with them. And being that the Wild King anime is like 5-minute episodes that are going straight to streaming, on the one hand, I could see them trying to keep like focused down on just like the two main characters and then just the supporting cast of extra small toys. But again, there's so much more that they could be doing with how this system works. And it's going to be a real shame if we never like get that capitalized on.
Do you think we'll see this on Pulse? Do you think they'll import it? But outside forces notwithstanding, because it seems like two of these in a 2-pack for what, $29.99?
Well, the
Maybe?
thing, okay, so like if they import these, they would have to price them in such a way as to not undercut Takara's sales. So like if they did import them, I think it would just be straight import of like Takara packaging and everything. So we'd be seeing them at a comparable price to what they are already.
Okay, so
Um,
it could be like what Takara was doing back in the 2000s, 2010s, the USA version. They would import our stuff, put a sticker or something on there, and they would sell it pretty much as it was with just minor modifications, being the USA edition or something along those lines.
I mean, like they could do that, but like fundamentally, I don't see like a lot of interest or motivation in Hasbro trying to sell these directly. Like this is absolutely something that Takara is making for Takara because they've got a specific thing they're trying to accomplish with this just to keep their Transformers brand functioning and alive for the like 5 to 7 age range
Yeah.
over there while they still have one.
45 to 46 age range for the US.
Yeah. The
Yeah. Hi, Brian.
thing is, these would be good core class figures, but
I
they
think they're
can't
actually
get
a little
core
bit-
class
They're
price.
I
not
think they're-
core class figures.
Yeah, no,
What-
I'm no,
What
they're
class?
they're yeah, that's
Core-ish.
no, there is no core class. There is only Zool. No, these toys are actually deceptively large, Don.
Okay.
So Brian, what's up next?
Mine should be here. Wave one. Mine shipped wave one.
I was hoping you had them for this week.
Yeah, I don't, but they'll be here next week. So
I saw some early in-hand pictures of these, and the truth may surprise you.
okay, sweet. Okay, in hand, Age of the Primes, Cybertron, Sideways, and Axalon. Yay!
Yeah, well, okay, so like I watched the video for Cybertron Sideways that the screenshots are taken from. It's actually kind of shocking. Sideways is basically as big in vehicle mode as the original Cybertron toy,
Really?
and the robot mode is taller.
Wow.
Yeah, like they did
Was
not.
not expecting that.
No, they did not corner cut with this in any demonstrable way. I really, really want some kind of behind the scenes post on this because I need to know how this toy was developed. If this is a new mold done with a partialing budget off of something else, like it's an amazing achievement for what they got out of this. And if Takara or somebody put up to just outright make a whole new mold Sideways for this capsule line initially, like that too, like that needs to be recognized in some way too. Like I need to know how this thing was made because like it is so weird how this came about and what it actually is, even compared to Overrider Cosmos from the Velocitron line. This is like that and so much more. It's so hard to believe that this is one of those like 3 tooling figures like they were. And Exilian also exists.
Yeah.
No, I'm super jazzed for the Sideways now, having seen the in-hand video with it. And if they do want to run like the Noise Maze mass production type as a redeco down the line, like I'd be on board for that too. Like this looks really nice.
Yeah, it
And
does.
Axalon also exists, and the copy that Toys R Us had to do video coverage of seemed to have very weak toe joints, and it kept falling over.
Okay, so we have early look at design for Alpha Trion's vehicle mode.
Yeah, so in like
He's a wedge.
in like Hong Kong, I guess, somewhere in China, there was this poster put up for some event in May, and among the just like existing art assets that they copied and pasted onto that, one of them was Alpha Trion's vehicle mode, which we hadn't seen before. Other things shown here is a Star Convoy guarding an escalator, and some posters of Elita 1 and Skybite, and I forget who else was on the left. But yeah, the important thing here is Alpha Trion's vehicle mode, which, yes, it's a wedge. It reminds me a little bit of like a dressed up Titan's Return Sentinel Prime, which is not necessarily a great thing to compare anything to.
Yeah, it's like a cheese wedge is what comes to mind for me. When I
Yeah,
see
kinda.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, honestly, it's hard for anything new to kind of compete with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 2-pack Alpha Trion, which was retooled from Studio Series Scourge, because like that nailed the robot mode look, and it's long been accepted, like, yeah, you could just make an Alpha Trion out of a Scourge and it works, and it did. And even with this doing something a little bit different in the vehicle mode than that, like it's hard for me to picture that the robot mode is gonna like be bang on perfect any better than that 2-pack one was.
Yeah. So what's new about this Yolo Park AMK series, Optimus
Okay.
Prime, Megatron, Starscream,
So
and
this is-
Bumblebee?
So this is kind of interesting. So AMK series versus AMK Pro, it's the same designs, it's the same like shape and complexity of parts, it's all the same stuff, but it's simplified down to all plastic construction. There's no die-cast parts in there. The kits have fewer accessories than the AMK Pros, but for all functional purposes, they are just the AMK Pros at half the price and all plastic.
Ooh.
So, like, if the diecast parts and their paint and the fragility of that paint over metal was a concern for you, or you didn't want to pay, $50-$60 per kit for one of these are listed on Yolo Park's website at US $29.99 each. We've talked about this many times. These are super, super nice looking renditions of some of these characters. The Optimus and the Starscream look fantastic. Megatron's okay. Bumblebee is kind of awkward, as takes
he
on
looks.
cartoon Bumblebee are wont to be.
Yeah, I picked these up on sale.
Mhm.
The original ones, other than the clear translucent one,
Yeah,
and I kind of wish now I'd waited because.
right.
But I mean, you don't expect. I mean, you never know what they're going to pull.
I kind of want to get the Optimus Prime. I already have the AMK Pro.
I
Yeah.
kind of want
like-
the Starscream.
Yeah, like it looks great. It looks different.
Yeah.
And it's a nice companion piece.
Are there any side by side comparisons that we've seen yet?
Not that I'm immediately aware of, but yeah, like this does solve a big issue I had with the AMK Pros, which is these all have they will have consistent color across the surfaces because it's all the same material. The more of the parts are going to be cast in the color that they're supposed to be. And like I don't have to worry about edges chipping on anything, because like I remember with the Starscream in particular, the early official photos of that, the like chest plate had the scraped up corners where you could see the bare metal underneath the paint, and whether that was being done intentionally just to kind of demonstrate the diecast metal element or not, like it still gave the feeling of like, yeah, that paint is eventually going to wear off of parts of that and it's going to look awful. This is just like, yeah, the full plastic model kit, the colors are going to be they're going to hold up, it's going to be totally even. Like this is what I would have wanted out of these from the beginning.
Yeah, I like them. I don't know that I'll get all of them, but I think I will get the Optimus Prime, maybe the Starscream.
You know,
if they do a
I'm-
Sunstorm, I want it to be in this series instead more than anything else.
I'm trying so hard not to make jokes about things being better without diecast, but
That's beautiful.
I'll be good.
I saw gears turning in your head that whole time, and I'm glad to find out what that was what that was heading toward.
That's very good. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll read this as Chris.
The
wrote
irony
it.
is, I put that item in there for diecast to talk about it. So
Yeah.
oops.
Yeah. Incredibly whelming. First look at Gamer Edition Thundercracker, and that is incredibly apt.
Yep. It sure is that mold again in blue.
In blue.
You know what? It shows how much attention I've been paying to this series. When I read that article, I didn't even realize they'd already done Skywarp.
Yeah, last year.
Completely missed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody cares. Okay. So next item. The way Chris wrote that, I'm assuming you wrote this, Chris.
Yes.
Okay. So you're accurate.
Mhm.
Dr. Wu makes the best modern broadside, and it looks great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I've been rolling this around for a few days since I first saw the pictures, and I still cannot think of a single official or third-party broadside that has been made that looks better than this in all three modes.
well, there's only been one third party, and that was a Salter from Fans Project.
Has no one else done?
No one has, and also Sandstorm. Sandstorm was Unique Toys. No one has done another third party incarnation of those two. We've gotten all the Springers you could possibly want.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
never. There was only 2 Octanes, 1 Sandstorm, 1 Broadside.
A lot of Astro Trains.
A lot of Astro Trains, a lot of Springers, several Blitzwings.
Yeah. Like to the point about Assaulter, like that had 2 good vehicle modes. They weren't super accurate to what G1 Broadside was, but that wasn't the point. It was the robot mode that suffered on that one. This, though, it really seems like it's got 3 basically solid modes all to itself, and it's doing a fair job of being G1 in all of them.
Yeah.
So
It's legend scale, but what does that mean in this case? Because
well,
broadside
okay,
is
so like,
giant,
or
or sometimes says.
So like the Dr. Wu line that this is supposed to go along with is the like Micromaster size characters. So like you've got, I think, a Galvatron from that series. There's a bunch of other ones. So it's designed so I think the vehicles are in scale with that. Broadside was a little bit bigger in the cartoon, but not like, monstrously bigger like this. But yeah, this is going to be, where those are Micromaster size, this is going to be like a big Legend size figure, which for the fact that they got something that looks as good in all 3 modes as this at that size
It's genius.
it's even more. Yeah, Dr. Wu, their designers are amazing at what they do, and I love every Dr. Wu product that I have purchased. Like, they are easily my favorite third-party company,
Yeah,
just flat out.
Yeah, I just pre-ordered this the other day. But there's 3 versions. One is the toy version, one is the animation version, and the Shattered Glass version that they're showing looks like it's the Marvel. It's the closest thing I can pin it down to is the Marvel comic colors when he appeared in that. So that's your 3 versions.
Okay. I want it. I guess I have to buy it. Making me buy third party, but they
Yeah.
deserve my money. They're doing a
Dr.
great
Wu's
job.
acceptable.
Yeah, Dr.
Yeah.
Wu's acceptable.
Yeah.
They-
The jet
they
mode
are-
is still the weakest of the 3, but Broadside is always going to have a weak jet mode. It's just kind of the nature of getting the stuff to look right.
Yeah, but it is still
It's-
leaps
it's-
and
oh.
bounds ahead of the Titans Return one.
Oh, that was not a jet mode. That was sadness given physical form.
I've had things more apt to be called that, but yeah, I get where you're I get where you're coming from. But like, it is funny though, if you look at some of the pictures here, just like the Titans Return one, it comes with a teeny tiny set of jet mode aerial bots to put on the carrier deck. And considering this is Legend scale, these jets are like the size of grains of rice.
That's not,
Like these
that's
are going to
awesome.
be lost and inhaled and everything just
Yeah.
so quick.
Well, Brian, which one are you going to get? The toy, the cartoon, or the?
Haven't decided yet, Don.
Okay, all 3.
the blue arms one looks the best to me, but like I totally understand like going for the like basic cartoon color one with the cockpit chest.
Yeah.
I went with toy version.
Cool. Okay, let's jump to what we got this week. Diecast is not here. I would have started with him. Curse you, Diecast. So, yeah. So, Don, what did you get?
I only got two things on topic this week. One is from my lovely wife. She was at our local bin store, and if you don't know what a bin store is, it's a salvage place. You go, you rummage through giant usually wooden bins. Usually it's Amazon
Panning for
returns.
gold? How does this work? What like?
Yeah,
Basically,
Is water running through them?
no,
And you're like going through the mud.
no, not quite. But I mean, think of it as a flea market in a box, and you go from box to box to box looking for treasures. My wife found me.
That just sounds like a flea market, Don.
It is, but it's inside. But
Yeah.
But like for example, my wife got me a $90 Columbia jacket, still sealed for $8.
Nice.
So, but what she got for me this week was she saw this sticking up, and she recognized the Decepticon
Big
symbol.
purple square.
It's a
Yeah, well, she recognized the Decepticon
okay.
symbol, and she pulled it over, and for $3, because it was $3 day, the art of making Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy. So
Neat.
it's the art book compendium, the making of, the artwork, the assets. This is a $23 book on Amazon, tfrio.net/Amazon. It was $39, I think, when it came out. $3.
Nice.
So while the cartoon may not have been that great, the book is just chock full of great images, early concept art, and
See,
you also
like,
get a lot of the Siege artwork that they used for some of the boxes.
oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, so like when you sent this to the group text a few days ago and told us that it was the making of War for Cybertron, I thought it was the High Moon games. I was a lot more impressed then.
sorry.
Now it's just like, oh, this was.
But I mean, but for all of the battle damage faults on Siege, the artwork was very stunning. It was very noticeable. It was very present on the shelves, and I like a lot of the artwork. So there's that. But again, a very nice $3 coffee table book. Other thing I got on topic was Lincoln, aka New Age's Trailbreaker.
okay.
New Age keeps doing the craziest things with these legends to make them look. I guess because of the constraints of the size class, you have to think outside the box. This thing does twists and turns that I've not seen in figures 4 times its size to get it looking as close as it does to. This is the animation version. I didn't get the toy head. I never liked the toy headed version. But that was a definite because Trailbreaker is one of my unsung characters. He's big, he's kind of chunky, doesn't move fast, so there's some personal connection there.
You also project force fields.
I just project anger at work. Maybe if I project enough, people leave me alone. But yeah, that's all I got on topic this week.
No, I've been at conventions with Don, and he tends to draw people in.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
Matt.
I got but one thing on topic. I went out to do a little toy hunt today just to get out of the house and drove an hour and a half down the interstate for absolutely nothing at Target. So I walked next door to the GameStop and found Wasp.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
And what's even nicer is it was a GameStop and it was not marked up. It was standard retail, so I went ahead and picked him up. Still very, very tiny figure, and it hurts to pay, $25 for it, but I do like it. And it looks really good in green. But that's it for my on-topic purchases.
Okay, cool. Rob,
Nothing on topic for me.
Chris.
Sorry, no.
Okay, so I got a couple.
Diecast had one job.
Diecast had one job. So I feel like I've been on a buying spree lately with stuff, with like the house being close to being sold. It's like, oh, I'm near the finish line. So I've opened up a little bit of my spending. So one thing that I've been trying to collect is boxed, whether US or Japanese or Europe, the 1986 movie cast, and one that I didn't have was Omega Supreme Ultra Magnus. So I got the C69, the
Nice.
Ultra Magnus.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the cab is really nice and white. It's not yellowed. My Ultra Magnus is one that I've pieced together with parts from over the years. It's part of my childhood Magnus. There was some stuff I got on eBay. So this it's a little rough. This one is really good. The box is shows some shelf wear, but again, I like that.
Yeah.
And it's the Japanese box, of course, and I kind of prefer the Japanese boxes, mostly because they're so much better taken care of than the U.S. But very happy to have it. The last thing I got on topic this week was something that negotiation isn't the right way to put it, because they offered it up to me at a little bit of a discount, not a discount on the product, but a discount on the shipping. So Transformerland every Wednesday posts their Transformers that they're selling for the week. They also have a Sunday update. Sometimes it's Transformers, sometimes it's not. And I always jump on it. I want to be one of the first people so I can just sort through to see if there's anything that I don't have. And last week I saw something that I was super stoked about. I didn't have it. I have a companion piece for it, but I didn't have it. And I put it in my shopping cart, and shipping on it was $100. It got USPS. It was just like the auto price was $100.
Mm-hmm.
And the way their shopping cart works is once you get to that point, it's a placed order. So like I've done that a couple times, and I'll get an email. It's like, hey Brian, saw that this cart was abandoned, or you're in the middle of the order. You're still interested in this. Last week it was like, hey Brian, I saw that this was the order wasn't complete, and I saw that shipping was really high. I can ship it for you via UPS for $35. And I'm like, let's do it.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got a complete Tycho train set.
Oh, damn!
Nice.
Yeah, so I had the racetrack
Oh,
set.
that's
Yeah, and this is in much better shape than my racetrack set. So I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. But the box is in really good shape. It's going to look great on my shelf. And something I've wanted for years, and it was relatively inexpensive.
Wow.
I'm not sure I'd ever seen that box like in scale to a person before. It's enormous.
It's enormous. Yeah, that's why shipping was so expensive.
Yeah, no, I mean
that's understandable.
That's pretty comparable to like a starter train set box of the period, right? Like I had a few of those when I was younger, and like that looks about like what I would expect for an electric train set.
Yeah. So like I've seen these before, and I've run across them at conventions and everything for more than they were charging for it, and felt the price was completely worth it. It doesn't exactly yes, I have a ton of G1 memorabilia and merchandise, like artifacts or whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something I have to complete, because it's near impossible, because there's an infinite amount of licensed merchandise that came out in the 80s. So like I'm not trying to complete all of that stuff, but I saw this, it looked really great, and I didn't have it, so I went for it. So that's what I got this week. Let's jump to off topic, the ham sandwich portion of what we got this week, which is exclusive to patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. I'll start. Last week I'd ordered these during the show. I got the Tholian Web Spock, the Toy Fair exclusive toy, and a piece of the Acton Kirk. So the only Toy Fair exclusive Star Trek figure now that I don't have is 7 of 9. So I've got these guys. I've got Lieutenant Picard. I think that's it. I don't think there's any others. Lieutenant Picard is the laziest figure ever.
No. I think the laziest figure is the Thomas Riker Deep Space Nine figure.
Oh,
where it is a Riker head on an O'Brien body, and that's it.
Oh man, I mean, isn't Lieutenant Picard just Picard but painted green?
I mean, I assume they put it on a different body.
They had to have since I believe I don't remember if they ever did a standard season 3 uniform Picard or not.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like,
Ooh, okay, good call.
they've got the season 1 and 2 Picard figure that's in a standard uniform for that design, but for post that, it's the smoking jacket that appeared in season 5 and 6. So like, yeah, even if there is a standard uniform season 3 onward Picard, that too would have to have been a Picard head swapped onto like a Q body or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Also,
Diecast.
yeah, Frank is saying green. Technically, Lieutenant Picard's uniform should be in the blue shade because he was science, not medical.
It sure looks green. When I
It
hold in my hand.
probably is. It wouldn't be the first time they made that coloration error because I don't think the Playmates people understood the distinction between the science and medical division uniforms.
Yeah.
Or
So
that there
I'm not
was
sure
one
I
to start
did,
with.
honestly.
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference.
So Diecast joined our Discord right now at tfradio.net/Discord. I can tell that he's on his mobile device, and he said that he bought a car to keep up with Don. So
I'm face palming right now. I'm sorry you can't see it.
yeah, maybe it was Barricade. We'll see. Okay, that's what I got. Don, what about you?
Got a very eclectic mix this week. Was at the local, another different salvage store picking up some stuff for Christy, and they had a Masters of the Universe New Eternia Jitsu, who I never picked up, and I got him for like real cheap. So
My kids
I got
love
him.
Gujitsu. Like they're so stretchy and gross.
Yes. I got that. I got the to go with my Sinestro from the McFarlane Super Friends line. I got Hal Jordan Green Lantern, which is probably the only title you'll get me to buy Hal Jordan anymore, because this version was before he got so pompous and everywhere. So this is probably the last Hal Jordan I'm ever going to buy. Of course, that's what I say about Optimus. I got a really, really good deal on these. I got Super 7 G.I. Joes. I got a really good deal on them. I got Cover Girl. And I got Roadblock. So I got a real good deal on those two. The last two things I got was Target is a Target exclusive, I believe. I got it. The Man of the Hour, Our Man from the Justice Society of America. Because
Nice.
everyone knows the JSA is one of the greatest teams of all time.
The Rex Tyler, our man.
Yeah. The Rex. Yep. And I love the way they have the cape molded and everything. It really gives a good like billowing effect with the way it's sculpted. And I went back to Target the other day looking for some things because, as I've mentioned, they're doing the remodel and they're pushing stuff to the floor. And this came back into stock. I decided to go ahead and get it. I may not keep it. Haven't decided yet. Chester Cheetah. I went ahead and got him to go with.
Had you even practiced saying it correctly? Good job, Don.
So again, I may not keep him. It's just another one showed up, or it was the same one that they found and put back where it was supposed to go. I don't know, but these things are apparently very, very hard to find. So I may keep him, I may not, but it's a cool looking figure. So that'll go on my no theme. These are all cool, but there's no theme shelf.
Don, I am very sorry I made fun of you to the point where you felt like you needed to buy that and say the name properly on the show.
Like I said, I haven't decided to keep it yet, but one showed up again, and I had some good eBay sales where I didn't have hardly anything in it, and I made enough to basically pay for the figure. So I figured, why not?
Nice.
But that's all I got this week off topic. Oh, one thing. A couple of weeks ago, our friend John Triclops sent me a Cheetor. Thank you, John.
Love you,
Thank
John.
you, John.
John's
He's
awesome.
going. He's
a great
going
guy.
in the pile with everything else.
That'll be really nice for some kid this Christmas.
Yeah.
Nice is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
So I just want to say, every year John gives very generously to the Elf on the
He
Shelf
sure
Homework
does.
campaign. He's a great guy.
and he gave generously to the Cheetor Fund.
Cool. Matt.
Yes. So I have very nearly stopped collecting Marvel Legends due to the Legends team's stubborn refusal to actually complete teams. I am just down to X-Men characters right now, but I did manage to find a couple. So I got classic costume Banshee.
Nice.
So I now finally, after years, have the entire all new, all different team from Giant Size #1. And also I found Marrow from the late 90s. So she will go next to Maggot on the shelf. And now I just need them to make a Dr. Cecilia Reyes to complete that little trio. This is the look of Marrow from the late 90s when she was actually a fun character before they ruined it. But
Marvel ruined a character with bad characterization? No, say it ain't so.
boring characterization, more like.
Well, that's worse than bad characterization.
Yeah. Yeah, they took away all the stuff that made her interesting and just made her kind of there. Banshee's weird because he comes with an odd number of hands. He comes with 5 hands, and like the only matching sets are the fists. I don't get where they were going with that, but I'm just happy to finally complete a team.
Is this new card art the new one ongoing? Because I've seen other stuff on the shelf that's the more traditional. I love this new card.
The Banshee comes on the card back. They're the ones without Build-A-Figure parts. They come with these lame-ass little plastic comic books now. Like, lame Hasbro. Yeah. Really, really lame.
Well, the only one of that way I picked up was Rom because he looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Marrow is actually in a Build-A-Figure wave. They do still exist.
So Matt, Manny Kara wants us to let you know that Rom crossed over with X-Men back in the Claremont days, which the implication seems to be that he thinks you should have to buy Rom now.
But he was never on an X-Men team, so I'm good.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I got him because he was tangentially connected to New Warriors.
I mean, Rom's a good-looking figure.
It's a fabulous figure.
Like, especially if anybody got like the weird tangentially Marvel figures like Crystar, like they'd probably look good together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would look great together. Cool. Anything else?
Nope.
Chris?
Sorry, no.
Rob?
Just one thing. Thanks to Blade Raider, who is in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. I got the G-Frame FA Wave 8 Goof Custom. Yeah. I had pre-ordered that whole wave from Hobby Link Japan back before everything was really damn stupid. And I just decided, since I can't know what the shipping is, let alone anything else until it was in stock, I needed to cancel that. But the Goof Custom was the thing I really wanted out of that wave because there has not been a good Goof Custom figure in this scale possibly ever. Like there was a G-Frame figure before that, but I don't think it had as much paint. They did remember to paint the Gatling shield on this version. G-Frame FA has better like armor covering for the upper legs and upper arms than old G-Frame did. So, but yeah, the original MS in Action Goof Custom was basically not that posable. I'm pretty sure if you moved the arms, the shoulder armor flew off.
It wasn't quite that bad, but the connection was not well designed.
Yeah. Like if you attempted any lateral movement, it was going to give you problems one way or another. But G-Frame, if I know the frame, so I know they're going to do better than that. And yeah, so I've been looking forward to that, and Blade lucked out and got a duplicate for that. So I am really, really grateful for him to passing that my way.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to cancel that.
No, I know. I don't wish the reality of that on you anyway. So
if I see the Goof Custom anywhere, though, I will let you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is all I have.
I do have the Robot Spirits Goof Custom, so like it's not like I'm hurting for a good Goof Custom figure.
Yeah.
But I do love me some G-Frame.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So Diecast is in our Discord right now.
Damn it, Diecast! You had one job
on his mobile device, so he can't call in. But he did tell Don that he's in Virginia right now, and he's only an hour away from Don's house. And Don's response made me laugh so hard. We just moved.
Didn't you move into that house like 3 years ago, Don?
We just moved.
Yeah, just moved out.
This room came with us. That's why it looks the same.
Oh, okay.
completely- It's a floating room.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons get an ad-free version of Radio Free Cybertron. You get it a day early at a higher bit rate with the complete What We Got This Week segment of the podcast, including non-Transformers content. You get a weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast, which is now completely caught up. You get unedited episodes of RFC exclusive to patrons if I have to make heavy edits for content-related purposes. Doesn't happen often, but those do happen occasionally. You get a special color denoting that you're a patron on our Discord. You get There Goes My Money a week early. And after this episode, but before the next episode of RFC, you should have a new episode of There Goes My Money in your podcast feed. And
Yeah, we actually talk about HasLab Omega Prime on that, unlike Diecast, who couldn't be bothered to be here tonight to talk about it for RFC.
Yeah, I should
Way
have
to go, Diecast.
Way to go, Diecast. I should have that posted to our Patreon tonight or in the morning,
Great.
and it'll be in the public feed next week, and then we'll catch up the rest of the episodes there. If you're a patron at the Touch tier, you get to be on There Goes My Money. Touch patrons are also mentioned on the show each week and listed at tfradio.net/credits. Want to thank Kevin Dorsey, Daniel Scott, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Stresovich, Hector Bones, Jake Klein Rye, Joey Russell, Here's Why It's Cool, Rabbits, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Trickster, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, and Mollusk Koenig. Thank you all so much. Okay, again, if you want to be part of that esteemed crew, go to tfradio.net/Patreon or patreon.com/tfradio. They both work because I get things confused, so I did that. So I just automatically redirects. But patreon.com/tfradio to sign up. You can find all of our podcasts going back way too many years at tfradio.net. You can find me at briankilby.com and on Blue Sky at kilby.bsky.social. Diecast, who is not here, he is at Diecast2 basically everywhere. John DeLuna, who is not here, he is at That John D everywhere except for eBay, where he is Cloudburst. Rob Springer not here, he is at RoboRobSpringer on Twitter, at zonebase.org, and at zonebase.bsky.social on Blue Sky. Don, where are you?
I'm in the new house, but I could also be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. And I can be reached on Blue Sky at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.bluesky.social. I also have an Amazon wish list if anyone would like to look at it and get some stuff for myself or for Hank. There's a few Hank things on there. At tfradio. No, I'm sorry.
No, it is tfradio.net/donlist.
tfradio.net/donlist.
Heck yeah, Matt.
Melvar.bsky.social. That's with 3 L's and 2 R's.
Rob?
I'm on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. I'm also on YouTube at youtube.com/flailthroughs. Still covering Gundam Battle Operation 2. This week we got the Red Gundam from G-Quux. That looks like fun. I don't know what this week's mobile suit is going to be. I'm hoping it's the new Gelgoog, but yeah, really enjoying the show and the games. But if you like what I'm doing over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can support the channel, you can make requests. Details are over there. And I also have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/playlist.
Chris?
Find me in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. I really love our community. They're great people. I love how I basically never have to actually do any moderation there. Like that's my big testimonial to how great of a group of regulars we have. They are extremely good at self-policing and keeping things chill and like good vibes all the time. So like definitely come hang out with us. It's a great place to be. It's my preferred place for interacting with people in our fan community. So definitely give us a look. I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist, and if you want to check out my website with my archive of photo galleries and such, that's at playwithphotography.com.
Very cool. That's it. We will see you next week. Have a good one.
Recording stopped.
Awesome. Just before my sinuses imploded, I guess. Huh. Okay, so this has nothing to do with anything, but I was going through my closet, and I have a box of sealed 1987 Donruss baseball cards that somebody flaked out on when I was trying to sell them on eBay.
Ah.
So I just decided to look to see if I broke them out and got like key cards created, would I make my money back? The answer is maybe. That's just kind of fun to do, I have to say, though. I really enjoy opening baseball cards. I bought a box this weekend of 2025 Topps Heritage, which is my favorite set each year. Bo Jackson, PSA 10, $300. That's sold. That would be worth my money.
Oh, Diecast wants to know if Brian bought anything on the show today. Not that I'm aware of, but he might have snuck something in when he was off screen.
I bought something right before the show. I should have it.
I don't know if that counts.
It doesn't. I could have held off, but
Yeah.
I was moving money. I was moving money between like prepaid accounts to cover it. So like, oh, I have money. I have this money in PayPal. I have this money in a prepaid account. What can I shuffle around to get this? Should have it next week, hopefully.
Maybe Don will have his Omega Primes then too.
Here's a spoiler though about what I got.
Okay.
Something I already have. It's boxed. I already have
All
it.
right.
I already have it boxed.
Is it a better box?
The box is probably better. It has all
Okay.
the packing material for the box, which mine doesn't have.
Ah.
But more importantly, there's a defect there's a common defect that doesn't just apply to this toy. And I don't want to say what that defect is, because if I do, it might spoil what it is. But there's a common defect so this is kind of like insurance.
I see.
Yeah. So, I will say that I paid much more for this than I did my original one, but like, it wasn't like an exorbitant amount of money. I got it for less than the going rate because I got it from Japan.
Oh.
But, it's not Japanese, but it came from Japan.
I mean, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But like, it's just insurance for the future. Hopefully I'll have it next week. I can
Go into more detail, yeah.
this is kind of like 20 questions, but I'm the opposite. I'm giving you information, but I'm trying not to like say what it is.
20 answers.
Yeah.
20 answers, and we have to figure out what the question is. It's like extremely long form Jeopardy, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
What is G2 Grimlock?
So,
Well, that didn't come in a box for one thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's G2 Grimlock comes like in not a sleeve.
It comes in a clamshell.
Clamshell.
But I don't think you would describe it as a box in any case when...
No.
But if you say clamshell, it'll be more of a giveaway.
Yeah, it's not a clamshell.
And not so much defect as variation, so.
Yeah, this is
Right.
a I'm going to say defect. Common issue.
Mhm.
MRP 73 may be right.
Okay, I was kind of wondering if that was the direction we were going in this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm suspecting it's an overseas product, but not a Japanese overseas product.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Hey, people watching live, I feel like crap. I need to go to bed because I got up way early this morning for work. So I'm going to kill the stream and we'll see you next week. So
Good night, everybody.
By Twitch.
Blader says, Metals Megatron? Wait, what is Metals Megatron?
It's Metals Megatron.
But no,
And-
that would be a Japanese product, technically, if it's Metals Megatron.
Oh, I have a Metals Megatron. Yeah, duh.
Oh, but you did say that you already had one of these, and this is going to be your insurance policy one.